Hi, everyone. Welcome. Azure Cosmos DB Live TV, episode 14. And joined this week by my good friend, Govind Kanshi. How are you, sir?
Doing well, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yep. My name is, as you rightly said, Govind, and I work out of the Cosmos DB engineering team with Mark and folks. And I work with customers. I also work on set of features and help customers be successful.
Yeah, great. Thanks. So, everyone, this week we're going to talk about our new continuous backup and restore feature. Govind, you want to talk a little bit kind of about, I guess, the history of our backup and restore?
Yep,
That's a good
definitely.
place to start, I think, maybe.
Yep. So Cosmos DB, when we launched, what we did is we wanted to make sure that first we focused on the SLAs, the availability SLA, the latency SLA, and the performance and the consistency SLAs. As part of that whole thing, that whole approach of making the database as completely self-running, we also focused on the fact that we provided two free backups or two free copies of backup starting off, right? So the history there is that what we did is we would take a backup or try to take backup every 4 hours, and we'll keep the last two copies at any given point of time. Over years, what we did is we added ability for customers to increase that both the frequency as well as the retention to be increased beyond the 8-hour capability. So now you can basically go ahead in periodic backup, which is what we call the original backup, where you can go ahead and say that take a backup every 1 hour or every 24 hours and retain this for X number of hours. So that's what we had, right? But there are a lot of challenges with it, as I think a lot of our customers, I'm sure, Mark, you have had that discussion, and the folks who are live today, they would also know that we would see customers coming in and facing challenges about, oh, we want to restore backup right now, and we have to wait for the ticket to come in and so on and so forth. It's challenging. There was no PowerShell or CLI. We basically decided that we need to fix this whole experience. So about 2 years ago, we started on a long journey where we basically decided that we need to fix this. And the way we try to fix this is allow customers to do self-service restores across 30-day window to address various scenarios. And this is what we call as the continuous backup that we are basically now ready to GA.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. Did you want to share some slides and kind of talk about kind of our new backup, or how do you want to?
Oh yeah, I think what I do is
we got our doc up here. Yep.
I think I do have a doc up here, and I think what I'll do is I'll walk through what are the scenarios for continuous backup, and that will be also a good validation how much of stuff that we have taken into account that customers require, right? First of all, the big change from the periodic backup is that we will take backup in every region your account is present. Okay? This is different from the periodic backup in the way that in periodic backup, we would take a backup in the region where your writes are occurring, and then we will use the blob storage replication to basically provide that backup in all the regions, right? A lot of customers had challenges and asks around it. So we said that with continuous backup, we need to make sure that we allow customers to choose or we follow where the customer's data is and make sure that the backup is also present in all those locations.
Interesting. So why is that? Why would we back up in every single region they're replicated to?
No, I think that's a great question, right? So what would happen is there are multiple scenarios here. Customers wanted to do a restore of the backup in a particular region. Let's say you are present in 4 or 5 regions. You want a backup to be restored in only particular region, and that was definitely not possible earlier, right? With this kind of scenario, you get backup in every location. The other thing is that the backup itself, when it is present in all these locations, for our high availability scenarios, we can immediately roll back without doing cross region. So we can, all the data is available locally. We can just go back and restore the data locally. So we don't have to do any cross region calls and to do the restores.
I see. So you're saying that I could do a restore into a new account that's going to have all the data in multiple regions, then, just like the
Yes.
original.
Yeah. So yeah, let me describe the scenario. Let's say take this particular account, which is present in, I would say, 3 regions, right? So let us say you would basically you wanted to restore this particular account in US West, right? So what we would do is, it's very straightforward. And I will show you a little later. You basically come in and say this account to be restored in this particular region only, right? So, and then you can go ahead and do your testing, or you can use that backup for doing your analytics and all kind of things, right? So everything can be done in particular region. So that's what we would do.
I see. Okay. Good. What about data consistency with backups in multiple regions?
Yep. So yeah, that's a great question again, right? So what would happen is the data consistency follows the data commit in each of these regions. As long as data is committed in each region, that is what is getting backed up.
Okay.
So you don't, if you remember, depending on the consistency that you have chosen, right? If it is strong, then you will get, the data and backup are completely synced up.
Yeah. So if you're running multi-master with a relaxed level of consistency, say session or weaker, the data backed up is essentially going to represent where the replication queue was at that point in time, basically.
Yes, you're completely right. The idea there is that whatever is local available there, that is present for that particular region.
Got it. Cool.
Yep. So let me describe a few of the scenarios and few of the things, and we definitely document what is restored, what is not restored. What we don't restore is a good thing to remember. Because we are database, we restore data. What we don't restore is all other things around it, right? The firewall, the VNet, and so on and so forth, right? Those are things that we don't restore, but data and index we definitely restore.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So let me describe 4 different scenarios of the restore. One is that, let's take this, I don't know whether it's visible here. Hopefully it is. Yeah. Let's take this account, and this account was deleted at T3, and you want to basically restore it, right? So this is one of the scenarios. So if you want to restore a deleted account, that is definitely possible with Cosmos DB, and you can restore with PowerShell, the portal, as well as CLI. Okay? The other scenario would be that, as in this case, restore the scenario that you touched upon right in the beginning, is restore the data of an account in particular region. Let's say this account existed in 2 regions, and you wanted to make sure that you want to restore the account in a particular region, you can do that. Okay? Then we have something more unique, and that is where the backup, actually the power comes in, right? Is that the Cosmos DB backup has to be touched only when you have made a mistake, right? It is not a tool for doing your regular HADR kind of scenarios, right? So what would that mean is that, let us say you made a mistake. By mistake, accidentally you updated or deleted data, right? So you want to go back in time and get the state of the data in another account. And that is what we basically provide today, completely with Cosmos DB.
I see. If I delete an account, how far back can I go to restore that?
Yes, great question. This doesn't change. So today, just as in periodic backup and the continuous backup, if you have dropped an account or deleted an account, we will store it for 30 days. So you can come back between that time.
Okay, so if I delete an account and I get busy for like 29 days, I can go back on that 30th day and say, oh, sorry, can you restore that?
Yep. And we do have customers who have done, I myself have done those kind of mistakes. So yes, right now it is 30 days, and it definitely works out for most of our scenarios.
I see. And I'm also guessing that if, say, you make a mistake in, like, say, overwriting data or deleting data, whatever it may be, once you restore it, you'll need to, I guess, replay the data back into your operational system, I guess. That would be correct?
That is completely correct, right? Today, we are very conservative. We are a database who doesn't want to be in news, right? That's why you know all the things that we do on availability front and the latency front and everything. In the restore scenario, in the version that we have come out with the continuous backup today, we always restore the data into a separate account, right? And then it's up to you to basically find out what data is present by doing query and then basically moving that data into your present location, right? That is what you should do for any accidental updates of your data. That is what you should, accidental updates or deletes of your data. That is the approach that you should take. And I would suggest don't hurry in that particular process, because you want to take time, right? And go ahead and look at what the state of the data is.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, go ahead.
So what's kind of, I guess, why this, I guess, what's the difference between this and kind of the periodic backup that we used to have? Were there issues with the periodic backup that make less desirable, I guess, in some ways? I mean,
so you're completely right. So let me open up the periodic mode, right? And I think it'll make life simpler. The first issue is that periodic backup would take backup only in the let us say the paired region, right? That is, and in case, and we basically fixed it. We provide now data residency or backup residency choices. In Cosmos DB, you can decide where your data is available, right? By doing the replication to right location or choosing the regions. Backup was always replicating to the paired region. Now we fixed it. That is, but let's come to the issues, right? The biggest issue is that how do you restore, right? Today, you have to file a support case, right? And that's not definitely something which is very feasible or the right thing to do. Right? So this is the first problem that we have, right? Then the second issue is that even if once you restore, it is not exact timing, right? Because Cosmos DB, when we take the backup is across multiple partitions. The chances of each partition being in sync is not. That's one thing that the challenge that we are trying to overcome, right? So, and the final part of this is that the ability for you to use PowerShell, CLI, or even ARM for that matter, if you are go by that route, you can use pretty much all of those mechanisms to do the restores. We want to make it completely self-service.
That makes sense. So it's definitely not having to file a support ticket's hugely beneficial. And I guess what you're saying because of how the snapshot was taken, it's not really instantaneous, is it? So you could have inconsistent data across partitions is kind of what you're saying with the older.
Yeah, there could be challenges, right? It is a best effort kind of a thing where the data could be in different state across all the partitions. But with the continuous backup, you get the data backed up using our new technology underneath, which ensures the data is in completely time consistent across all the partitions.
I see. I get a question from a viewer here. Is this new backup policy work with the data in analytical store? So if they made a restore in the past, what's the state of the data contained in the analytical store?
That's a great question. It comes at the right time. So Cosmos DB and analytical store, right? If you see the Cosmos DB backup, when we restore, we will give you the restored data. Now, if you want the state of the analytical store also restored, so we do have work which is upcoming, and actually by June, by end of this June, if you're really interested, we can provide you a script which you can use. But in another month's time, we will be providing a PowerShell and CLI support for that, where you can just invoke a state or an operation on Cosmos DB's account saying that you have whatever the state of the data in this particular collection on account is, please enable it for the analytical store. So we are working on it. Yes.
Okay. Great. All right. I'm going to ask you a question that I get all the time. So how long does it take to do a restore?
Yes. So as long as you get marked some best of the drinks and best of the ice cream to Govind, so then you can get it restored as soon as possible. We'll just give you the. No, I'm just joking. What we can definitely do is The simple answer is it depends on the size of the data. We do have customers who have tens to hundreds of terabyte, right? What we have seen is, and this is, and there is no SLA right now, but what we have seen is a customer has restored about 17 terabytes in about 8 hours, right? But what I would say is 45 minutes for a terabyte to restore to about 1.5, which is the worst case that I have seen. Right? That's the amount of time.
Okay, so 45 minutes, 45 to 90 minutes for a terabyte of data to restore. On average, your mileage may vary.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good rule of thumb for people to keep in mind on that. So very cool.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there questions? Otherwise, what I'll do is I'll walk you through a few of the things. One is the provisioning, what you need to take care, and I'll walk you through some of the restore things.
Okay. Yep, go for it.
Okay, wonderful. So the screen that you see, I'm trying to provision a new account, right? And what you can do is you can come in, and when you choose the backup policy for a given account, rather than periodic, right, which also has the redundancy options, and we'll not focus on that today, is just choose the continuous mode, right? We are going GA end of this month, or at the most a few more days here and there, maybe second week at the most. And the idea here is that then this preview tag will go away. But even today, we will support customers as they are in production, and we will support accept all that support tickets and so on.
Okay, so if customers want a go live license, so to speak, or whatever the cloud equivalent of that is, since we're not a packaged product, but we'll support them as production, even though it's tagged preview.
Yes, we have hundreds of customers today using it in production.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think that part is completely something that we stand by and we are proud of. The key part here is that there are a bunch of features that we want to line up. Today, we are very confident about the SQL and the MongoDB API in the single region write account, and the rest of the features which we are planning to support are documented in our FAQ basically. Okay. This is the only thing that you need to do. Nothing changes. Now the question here would be, what happens to existing accounts, right? If you have an existing account in the periodic mode, and we will, Mark has a link and we will share it. We are running a preview where you can apply for converting your periodic accounts to the continuous mode. In a month's time period, you can actually take a PowerShell or CLI or in a portal to convert the periodic accounts to the continuous mode. Right?
I shared the link on the screen there, and I'll leave that up a bit so people can jot that down or just take a screen cap of it, whatever you prefer. It's fine.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Yeah,
that's something that we are running on, and it will help our team as well as the customers to basically experience that. We will do the migration, so you can nominate your test or production accounts. But in month's time, you can do the migration yourself.
And I'm guessing this is zero downtime, of course.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So now let's come to two scenarios. I'll just walk you through so once you create, you have to restore. So what would you do, right? And I will walk you through our UX, which is pretty clean, and we will keep improving it. So you can choose the time, of course, and time shows the red one, all the dates in the red basically are non-choosable, right? You can choose a particular time, a particular date, and particular time, and which location that you want to restore into, right? And then you have a choice of restoring the complete account or set of containers. So depending on what you want to do, you can do that. Choose the resource group and the target account, right? Once you choose that, the restore will definitely cost you. Going forward, it will be 15 cents per GB, and this is based on the US West cost, right? And that's it. That's all you need to do. Let me just show you PowerShell and CLI experiences. I think some of our customers only prefer those because they can actually check in the scripts and all that, and they don't use those. And the format remains very straightforward. And let me just increase the size there a little bit, right? It's same. You need to give us the target resource group, target account name, the source account name, the restore timestamp, and so on, and basically the location that you want to restore it. So it's very similar for CLI also. So if you want to do CLI, it's pretty much similar. You are giving us the target, the source. You are giving us the resource group, location. So those are the things that you need to do. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. So let me go back here. So there is one thing that I want to walk through. So you can do definitely this, right? But there is another sophisticated or advanced scenario that we support. And that is basically, let us say you are one of those customers who creates containers and drops them and creates databases and drops them. So what we also provide is a way to look at all the events. So you would have created an event at certain point of time and you want to choose just that particular time, right? Just around that time, you can do all those kind of things.
So those are data plane operations I'm seeing in here?
Oh, no, these are all control plane operations.
Okay.
These are completely, and actually only one of the things I think only you will appreciate on this front is the resource model. It's a very rich resource model, which we have basically exposed. There is a backup policy. It provides the create mode. So it tells you what exactly, whether it was a restored or some, restored or not, when it was restored, what was the restore source. So you can actually literally form a chain of your restores and so on and so forth. When and which region was dropped and all those kind of things are basically available here. Right?
I see. Looks like I've got some ARM template samples I'm going to have to update in the future here. Thanks, Govind.
No, I think I'm assuming that you are on the top of these things all the time. And I heard that you are doing all the bicep stuff and all that.
I am. I'm right in the middle. I got about, I don't know, a dozen or more PRs open in the ARM template repo right now. But yeah, I took and ran the bicep decompile against all my ARM templates samples in there, and then did a build off them back into the ARM template with has like basically the hash for the bicep file. You have to make sure that they kind of round trip between them. Anyway, yes.
And that's the important thing, right? I'm excited about bicep because I think there is whole set of customers ask around it. So I'm looking forward to all those things.
Me too. I don't know if ARM templates will ever go away. I kind of wish they would because I really don't like authoring those things. Bicep is certainly less verbose. I guess more concise.
I think you are one of the few people who is diligent. I would say diligent about making sure that we have the complete the way of interacting with surface area of our product, right?
Yep.
And so if you remember, this is the simpler version, right? That this is, you can just go ahead and say that this is what is the backup policy looks like. But as you can imagine, as you rightly are saying, right, editing this, adding this, some stuff, if you make a simple mistake, you have to go back. It's not fun. No. So I'm looking forward to bicep. Anyway, so that was the event feed. So we provide the event feed here in a much rich fashion on the UX, but you can always definitely go back to our PowerShell and CLI. They also provide the complete event feed on these things, right? So
great.
So you can do all these enumeration of all these events and then choose the right time and come in, right? And that I'll just show you a very simple way. So you can get something like this, right? Saying that all the accounts which are present or in the live account and when they were created. And this is what we are displaying there. Right? We are displaying the databases here, but then you can also display all the containers also, saying this container was created at this point of time, and so on and so forth, right? So there is I don't know how many people will appreciate this. There was long time asked from a lot of customers to provide when an account was created, when a collection was created. Now we have this capability thanks to the resource model.
That's true. So for folks that aren't aware, I get this question all the time because I'm the ARM guy.
Yes.
But when somebody would call in or open a ticket or whatever and say, "Hey, someone in my company created this account. Can you tell me who?" and when. And I'm like, I can't, can't do anything. ARM doesn't record it. But now that you have this thing that's running against our log store, we do know when that happens. So that's cool, actually.
Yep.
So,
yeah. So that's the, I think, so I hope some people like that, and basically can build some sophisticated analytical tools in terms of what they want to do there, right? That's one part that I definitely wanted to touch today.
So I got a question for you. Why only 30 days? Like I interact with a lot of customers that have regulatory requirements around data that they have to keep stored. And today, or I have been for forever, basically, is telling them that they need to go and double write that data into blob storage and archive it there. So why 30 days? And I guess what's the story for folks that need long-term data retention? Can they use something like this?
Yeah, I think thanks, Mark. I think you and I think we face these questions every day, and we are completely listening to our customers. It's just a matter of time when we start prioritizing those asks. But long term, first of all, let me address why just 30 days. Today, we have basically taken this step to align with the GDPR and other kind of retention asks that customers have. So that's why we are aligning with 30 days. And there are challenges in terms of going beyond the 30 days. But for beyond 30 days, say 1 year, 2 year, and all those kind of things, we are working on a capability. Actually, it's completely fair to announce that we will have a private preview, and you should definitely reach out if you need that. But first, we will expose that capability of long-term retention on the Cassandra API, because that's where some of our major customers are landing. And then we will start exposing it for our SQL and the MongoDB API customers. So definitely something that we're working on.
So so coming down the road here, down the
yes,
pipe.
Definitely, yeah.
So I got another question. Same viewer here. Is point-in-time restore available for all APIs?
Yes, I think the hard one, right? So thanks for asking that one. Yes, today it is available for SQL and Mongo API, and we are trying to make it work for Cassandra, Table, and Gremlin. I think the Table and Gremlin will land in earlier if we get enough customers on that front. But today it is focused on the SQL and Mongo. We are actively working on Cassandra and other APIs too.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess you said earlier you've got hundreds of customers running on this.
Yes.
To get those others into preview and of course eventual GA, we need to get customers in there first. To harden the service and make sure it works before we bring it into more of a public preview availability, and then of course eventually GA. So yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. So what about RBAC? Like we have the backup operator role in our RBAC today that defines the actions that you can do a backup or a backup restore, I guess it is in there. What's the RBAC story for continuous backup?
Yes, great question, right? So first of all, while designing this feature, we talked to a lot of customers, and a lot of customers didn't want the restore capability to be available to everybody. So you need to owner of the account will definitely have capability to restore, but then you as owner can assign this role to other principals to perform the restore operation, right? I think that's the key part. And what we have taken, and hopefully folks will have time to go through this. There are two concepts here: the scope, where you apply the restore capability or the permissions, and how do you create that role, right? We do have a role, which is basically the permission that you really require is the restore action permission, right? It's Cosmos restore operator, right? And this restore operator is what you require today for doing the restores. This is what you require at this point of time.
Okay, so this is a brand new role.
Just a brand new role, and because our goal is that that continuous backup becomes the future, and all the investments go here, and so we wanted to Cosmos backup operator role. That was designed more to show who can see that the restore capability itself, right? So we want to, over time, because we want to keep these two features independent, we are not reusing that particular role right now. We have a completely new role.
So eventually we're gonna deprecate the periodic backup, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think what I would say is, once
Eventually.
Yes, eventually.
I mean, we're Microsoft. We don't
We don't
do anything, do we? I mean,
Yeah,
it'll be, you and I will be retired maybe before we get there.
exactly. Yes.
I got it. So this role here can operate or exist without access to the data plane. Is that correct?
Yes, completely independent. It is completely RP driven. There is no data plane interaction.
Got it. Okay. Yes. All right. So brand new role, new actions.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
New actions, and the key part here is that you can apply it to the account resource. This is where you need to apply, and the subscription.
Got it. I had a question earlier from a viewer who was asking, can they migrate? And I just want to put up this AKA MS link because we do have a private preview for customers that are using periodic backup and want to migrate to the continuous backup. So we'll have that, or we have that now in private preview, and I'm guessing that eventually we will, of course, is that, are we going to have that for GA?
Yes, you're completely right, Mark.
Okay.
I think so. Today we are doing the private preview where you nominate your accounts. We will do the migration for you. But in about a month's time, we are completely ready with PowerShell and CLI as well as Portal. Fingers crossed, so that you can do the migration yourself.
Got it. So I'm guessing that'll surface either through, well, it'll be Portal, and I'm guessing there will be a new commandlet in PowerShell and a new CLI command for Bash.
Yes, completely. So
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Let's see. I have another question for you. What about, so we have the new encryption with customer managed keys that we released. That's, I guess it's now GA, right? I don't remember, but either way. So how does this work if I've got customer managed keys? And I'll even throw a curveball at you here. What would happen if, because I'm guessing we encrypt the backup with the same key customers are using. What if I rotate that key and then I try to restore from a backup prior to that?
Yeah.
Riddle me this.
Yeah, a lot of questions. So first of all, the CMK itself. Today, the existing CMK capabilities that we have right now, we don't work with this particular feature, but we are targeting it in some more time in the future. We are targeting ability to work to make this whole thing work. There is different set of identities that the team is basically working on. Once those are in place, we should be able to get this feature out, this feature support out, right? That's the first part. Now, second part is that what do we do with the data and everything? And we will document that whole approach that we are doing. I was advised that I should wait for that because this is going to get recorded and posted. I should wait for our official capabilities and launch, and then basically say about a few things about it. But rest assured, the idea is that once it works with the CMK and it is as a feature, we will also make sure that we document how we will take care of the key rotation and everything. But if you really think about it, right, the key that we are storing in P-Vault is the one which is basically just encrypting the key itself, right? It's not just about the full data, because that will not be the right thing to do, because we have customers who have tens of terabytes of data. Every time re-encrypting all the data would not make sense.
Got it. Okay, good.
Yep.
I put a link for the docs up that you're showing here. So if people want to go and take a look at all these docs that Govind has so lovingly authored, they can go and check out.
Thank you very much. I think you are the leading star there with all the ARM and the CLI stuff. We just
no, sir. No. I'm just a follower. Okay. Great. Anything else you want to show us? What have we not covered today? I think we've think I've pretty much hit all the questions I had about this. This is really exciting. I know customers have been wanting this for a long time. I mean, for sure. I've heard it since day one, since I joined the team, about the need for continuous backup and point-in-time restore. I mean, this is what modern databases should provide for their customers. So it totally makes sense. So very exciting.
Thank you very much, Mark. I think we are very excited to bring this feature with our customers. And most importantly, we would request customers to choose continuous backup as their way, rather than the default, which is right now periodic backup, because that provides the ability to restore to a point of time, restore to any point of time within the last 30 days. And it is completely self-serviced across PowerShell, Portal, as well as CLI, or even ARM if you are a sucker for that. So we would request you to use the continuous.
I'm a sucker for ARM. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. All right. Well, Govind, thank you so much. Great show this week. Really excited about our new continuous backup and point-in-time restore capabilities. Good luck bringing this to GA. I know customers are going to be pretty excited and want to sign up. I'll be curious to see how many signups you get for your new preview to go and do all the conversion from the periodic to the continuous. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you everyone for joining us this week. Next week, I've got a really special guest, person on our team, Mei Chen. She is a engineering manager, and she has a unique. She's building something really unique. She's building this new compute layer within Cosmos DB that's being used for a bunch of really cool services you may have heard of. Our new integrated cache is built on this. We've also got our new Apache Cassandra managed, what is it called? Managed instance?
Managed instance.
Yeah, Apache Cassandra managed instance.
Yes.
There's another piece on there. Also provides a dedicated gateway as well for customers. So if you're not familiar, like Cosmos is a multi-tenant service. And what this is doing is providing kind of a single tenant compute layer for you to do things like have an integrated cache or do host Apache Cassandra, provide this dedicated gateway. Anyway, want to give you kind of a behind the scenes look and meet one of the engineering managers responsible for building this brand new kind of piece of Cosmos, if you will. It's kind of very different, and just find out what it takes to kind of build services like this, how to operationalize them. Just give you kind of a behind the scenes look into how we build and run Cosmos DB. So I hope you'll join us next week for that. And again, Govind, thank you so much for talking about continuous backup.
Thank you very much, and hope to see a lot of folks on the next one.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got maybe some questions. Nope, just people thanking us. Oh, I do have a question. Is there any impact if we configured Cosmos DB with private link? I don't think.
No.
You said at the beginning, it doesn't matter because all we're doing is just restoring just the data, right? So, yeah. So, okay. Well, there we go. Got all the questions covered. Thank you again, everyone. And hope to see you next week here on Cosmos DB Live TV.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.